my name is Wendy Mata. I come from a lineage of shamans and witches and curanderas from Mexico, but I also have studied a lot of different modalities around the world. And I also come like the lineage from my grandmother. They were rainmakers, or they're also known as weather shamans. So a lot of the stuff that I do with the people that I serve, it's part of the wisdom that I got to receive from my family, but also part of my studies. I've taken a lot of classes around the world because I'm trying to understand different modalities besides shamanism and curanderismo. I believe that my biggest gift is to allow people to connect into different realities. One of the services that I offer, it's cord cutting, which is basically detaching people from realities that they don't need to be connected anymore. Our soul gets to fragment when we go through trauma and pain, and that causes energetic leaking, or energy just somehow gets affected. So cord cutting sessions allow people to come back to center and detach from what they don't need. Cord cutting, a deep cord cutting, happens in 3 sessions. It's 2 90-minute sessions and 1 45-minute follow-up. And on the first session, there is a process of scanning just to figure out what the person needs and where does that person needs to go. And I create a protocol of healing for that person. And then we start that protocol in that first session. And then on the second one, we go deeper, and I also do a sealing process so that all those fragments are put back together and their energy is replenished with either love or light or abundance or joy or whatever it is that they need. And then that gets sealed in a way that nothing else that is negative attaches into those points of the body. And then on the third session, we just do a follow-up. We just talk about where do they want to go and what do they need. It's a little bit of a healing / coaching session, because the cord cuttings are so deep that they change the way that people see the world sometimes, and they need a little bit of understanding of what's going to be next after my frequency has changed, after I've changed my mental patterns and my programmings, and after living a life where I'm fully grounded. The co-creation medicine wheel, it's a process that supports people with their manifestation. It supports people with creating a new reality. The best people for the medicine wheel is the ones that are ready for changing their lives, and they're ready for accepting that they are ready to be who they were meant to be. So it's a process that uses shamanism techniques, because we do a lot of work with the elemental forces. It also uses a lot of, I call them waving of energy. I bring different energies of different times and spaces and frequencies to change the programming of the people that is on the medicine wheel. And then I also do a lot of neuroplasticity. Part of the medicine wheel, there's a lot of guided meditations. So what they do is that they change mindsets, and by changing the way that you think about a circumstance, you create the energetic paths and the chemical paths in the brain to believe that that's your reality. So that basically you come into a medicine wheel thinking and believing that you're one thing, and believing in how possible or not is your dream. But then when you leave a medicine wheel, then you already know that it's possible, because you don't just manifest for yourself. The medicine wheels are typically for 4 to 8 people. So we do co-creations or multiple manifestations for multiple people. So you don't just see your reality, other people see your reality too. But I've seen miracles from people moving into a different country within a month, people getting their adopted children within days, people meeting their soulmates within 3 months, people getting married within 2 weeks. Like, I've seen all sorts of beautiful things that people create, or realities that are created collectively. I help people enter whatever they need to enter, but I'm not really the one doing the work. I'm just a tool. I'm just a tool for spirit. That's all I am. That's the ones that we are in this path. We're just tools. That's it. Spirituality needs to be practical. Like, sometimes we believe that we have to fill all this ritual and dress in the right colors. I remember a long time ago when I went into one of my shamanism classes, this person say that women had to use skirts all the time in order to be connected to Mother Earth. And part of me was like, nah, that's not true. You can connect to Mother Earth anyway. Or I had another teacher that say that you have to always wear white because white is the one that actually brings light, and it's like not true. Like red is my favorite color, so I love red. So there's a lot of belief systems that require you to not be practical. And when you have the time to follow practices that are ritualistic and beautiful, that's great. But sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you have, especially if you're a mother, like you have like no time. So you gotta figure out things that work. And as long as you are connected to spirit in a daily basis or in a weekly basis or in a monthly basis, like longer ritual, you're fine. So for the people that is out there, don't complicate your life. You can connect to spirit within a second. It's not true that you have to go through all these complicated practices. Again, there's beauty on those practices, but it doesn't have to be like that every day. If I meet someone, I can see who they are in their fullest potential. But I don't see it just as their potential, I actually see them as a reality. And my biggest gift is to connect people into that reality, and to allow them to believe that that's possible. If we're meant to work together, that I can do that for people, that I can allow you to see your magnificence if you're not able to see it yourself.